The journey to the mysterious town, too. When dawn broke, we packed up our camp quickly and prepared to move into the valley. None of us had slept well. The whispers in the wind had continued to act up all night, and every crack of branches felt like a warning. Still, curiosity drove us forward. We had come too far to turn back now. The road down into the valley was rough. Our car jolted as if every stone wanted to jack up our nerves. By the time we reached the first wooden houses of the town, the morning sun was already beating down, though the light didn't make the place seem friendlier. The town looked like something out of another time. Many houses were done up in faded paint, their shutters hanging loose. Old signs muddled through their messages, letters missing or painted over. We slowed down, trying to take it all in. "Strange," Chloe said, latching onto the sight of an empty square. "Where is everyone? Shouldn't people be getting up to their morning routines?" Lily shook her head. "It looks like time has been whittled away at here, piece by piece. The place feels abandoned." Just then, a group of locals appeared at the far end of the street. For a moment, relief filled us, but as they approached, the feeling turned sour. Their eyes seemed to account for our presence with suspicion. Instead of greeting us, they froze us out with cold stares, repelling us from any warmth. Ryan tried to square up to them, speaking bravely. "We're just travelers. We don't want trouble. We came to learn about the history of this town." But the locals only muttered among themselves. One old woman started to decry us for being outsiders. "Strangers always bring trouble. You'll eat into our peace and saddle us with misfortune." We decided to visit a small inn. The owner, a tired-looking man, seemed kinder than the others. He helped us muddle through the registration, though he kept nagging about rules. "You can stay one night," he said. "But don't ramble on about your business. And don't dig in too deep. People here don't take kindly to curiosity." We nodded, though none of us intended to obey. That evening, we gathered at a wooden table, bolting down a simple meal of bread and soup. The food wasn't much, but after the long road, it felt heavenly. Ryan raised his glass and said, "Let's drink to our courage. We finally made it." Chloe tried to kick back and relax, but her eyes kept darting to the windows. "They're watching us," she whispered. "I can feel it. They don't want us here." Lily leveled with us. We knew this might happen. Outsiders always fall in with suspicion in closed communities. But if we want answers, we have to push through. Later that night, as we stepped outside, a young man approached us. Unlike the others, he didn't freeze us out. Instead, he seemed eager to latch onto us. "My name is Elias," he said softly. "I know what you're looking for. You want the truth, don't you?" We hesitated. He seemed trustworthy, yet we had learned not to make off with trust too quickly. Elias continued, "This town hides secrets. If you put in for help, I can guide you. But you must be ready to square up to things you can't explain." We agreed, though Lily still nagged about the risk. Elias smiled faintly and asked us to meet him the next day by the old chapel. Back in our small rooms, none of us could sleep. Chloe moped around, pacing back and forth. "We shouldn't have come," she kept saying. "They're going to saddle us with whatever curse haunts this place." Ryan tried to graft on bits of logic. "Superstitions can't harm us. We'll muddle through this like we always do. Don't let your mind act up." But as the hours dragged on, the silence was only broken by footsteps outside. Someone was clearly keeping tabs on us. I tried not to ramble on with my fears, but deep inside, I knew something was off. Morning came with heavy clouds. We got up early and walked through the narrow streets. The town was small, but each corner seemed to whittle away at our sense of comfort. Paint peeled off walls, windows were done up with boards, and children stared at us before running away. At the marketplace, we tried to buy supplies. The shopkeeper decried us again. Outsiders eat into the little food we have left. Why don't you make off with your business elsewhere? We tried to level with him, explaining we were only staying briefly. Eventually, he relented, though he overcharged us, jacking up the prices unfairly. Ryan grumbled, "They're saddling us with costs just because we don't belong here." Still, we carried on. By noon, we reached the old chapel where Elias had told us to meet. The building looked abandoned, but the doors were still done up with heavy iron locks. Inside, the air was thick with dust. Elias appeared from the shadows. "I knew you would come. Most outsiders leave before the second day, but you stayed, so you're ready to dig in deeper." We gathered around as he began to explain. He rambled on about ancient rituals, about a curse that had beaten down the town for generations. He said outsiders were often frozen out because locals believed strangers would whittle away at the delicate balance. Chloe tried to latch onto every detail, asking questions quickly. "What curse? How did it start?" Elias lowered his voice. "No one agrees. Some say a traveler made off with sacred objects. Others say the land itself was saddled with guilt after dark deeds. But if you want to know more, you'll need to square up to the council. They meet tomorrow night." Before we could ask further, the chapel door banged open. A group of men stormed in, their faces hard. They decried Elias for helping us. "You fall in with strangers, and you drag on the curse for us all." They tried to freeze us out of the chapel, shoving us toward the door. Ryan wanted to square up to them, but Lily held him back. "Not now. We'll only act up the situation." We managed to muddle through the confrontation and slipped away into the streets. My heart raced. It was clear the town didn't just dislike outsiders. They were ready to repel us from every corner. Back at the inn, we sat in silence. No one wanted to ramble on, but we all felt the same weight. Chloe moped around again, nagging about leaving. We should put in for a refund and go. They'll never accept us. But Lily squared up to her. "We can't back out now. We came for answers, and we're not going to let fear whittle away at our resolve." Ryan lifted his glass again, forcing a smile. "Then let's drink to tomorrow, to facing the council, to finding the truth." We all drank, though the taste felt bitter. That night, as the wind howled outside and the town seemed to act up again, I wondered if we had chosen wisely. Something told me the council meeting would account for everything and change us forever.